Good morning, everybody. Norma here, welcoming you to your Wednesday morning slow flow class. I'm just popping on a few minutes early because I would like to do a posture at the end of class that you can support yourself with a block. So if you have a yoga block, if you could have that handy. If not, maybe a firm pillow that we're just going to support our hips in the last posture of the class. But don't worry if you don't have that, no need. So if you've arrived already, come on in and get settled. We're just a few minutes out. Alrighty, so we're just about 2 minutes out. If you are arriving now, welcome. If you're going to be doing this class at a later time, welcome as well. I just mentioned a few minutes ago that I like to have a supportive posture at the end of class. So if you have a yoga block or a firm pillow handy, you can have that towards the end of class. So reminders, this is an all levels class. Please participate at your level. And always my invitation to lay on your mat for the next 45 minutes if that's what is feeling right in your body today. So we'll flow through some postures maybe that we haven't done in a little bit. And we are going to be focusing on our hips today. If you were able to join the Yoga Nidra that I did on Monday, we talked about our sacral chakra that is located in our pelvis area. So I thought we'd continue along that theme this week and do some hip openers and try to soften things there a little bit. So I'm going to be in a seat to start, to welcome people in. And if I haven't had a chance to meet you yet, my name is Norma and welcome. So finding your way onto your back, I'm going to join you there. Taking the opportunity to take the time to arrive here. If it feels comfortable, you can take your feet together, allowing the knees to fall open. And mindful that you're just arriving, so just maybe inch your feet a little further down your mat than I normally do. Taking one hand to heart, one hand to belly. And if this doesn't feel right in your body, just straighten your legs out so that your feet flop open to the edges of your mat. Honoring your body. So taking these first few breaths to arrive here. Knowing that there's nothing that you need to do for the next 45 minutes other than concentrate on you. This is your time to return home to your mat. Have an opportunity to come in and get a nice stretch with the yoga postures as an added bonus. Let's take an inhale breath together, in through your nose. Open your mouth, sigh, let it all go. Maybe seeing if you can soften even more here. And keeping your awareness on your breath. No need to change anything about it, just awareness. And check in and see how you're feeling this Wednesday morning. Beginning at your head, and all the way down to your toes. Allowing that breath to soften any area that may be feeling stuck. And if your mind begins to wander, that's okay. Acknowledge your thought and come back to your breath. This comes easier the longer that you practice yoga or mindfulness. Maybe it's a little bit of an exercise for your mind. Push-ups for the mind. Bringing your awareness always back to your breath and a fresh start. How is your body feeling this Wednesday morning? Maybe checking in with your heart as your breath passes through your heart space. Sending love there if your heart may be feeling dimmed, or if it's smaller than it usually feels. Always awareness, never judgment here. And if it's in your practice to set an intention for your class, you can do that. And intention is your truth vow. Setting the present tense of it as if it's already true. And for your sacral chakra, for example, it could be I am creative. I am joyful. Or I make relationships with ease. So go ahead and repeat that 3 times to yourself. And if nothing has come to you, that's okay. Maybe try those examples that I gave. Gently letting your feet stretch out long, allowing your hands to come back down to your sides. And slowly waking up your body, inviting small movements here. Maybe rotating your ankles and your wrists. Before bringing your knees into chest, maybe coming up with your head and shoulders off just for a moment, giving yourself a wee hug, maybe rocking from side to side here. Allowing head and shoulders to come back down, knees are bent. We gently do some circles with our knees here, slower than you want to. Feeling that little massage at the base of your spine, your sacrum, and also giving some movement to your hip space here. So 3 one way, and then 3 the other. Changing your breath to a breath that comes in through your nose and out through your nose. Just with that little constriction in the back of your throat, your ujjayi breath. Good. Take your knees back into chest before rolling over to your left side and pushing yourself up into your tabletop position. So starting your good foundation in your tabletop. Hands are splayed out wide. Your fingers are like little suction cups holding onto the mat. Shoulders are stacked on top of elbows, on top of wrists. Toes can be tucked here or toes can be flat on the ground. And invite some movement here to your body. Any authentic movement that your body may be craving. And close your eyes if that feels okay. You may travel to a modified child's. And then curl back up like the scary Halloween cat. Or coming low, letting your hips sink low and creating some movement there. What feels good for you in your body this Wednesday morning? Maybe even imagining your pelvic bowl being filled with water and just mixing things up here. Using your breath. Nice movements to warm up that hip space. And allow you to be creative here. You're creative in what is serving your body. Beautiful. Coming back to stillness. Neutral in your tabletop. Can you look over your right shoulder towards your right hip? Nothing changes in your body. Your inhale brings you back to center. This time your gaze goes over your left shoulder. Maybe even seeing that left hip. Back to center. One more time, each side, looking over your right shoulder. Back to center. And one more time, left shoulder here. Coming back to center, if your toes aren't tucked, can you please tuck them, bending generously into your knees, lifting your hips up and back to your first downward facing dog. So maybe just pedaling out your heels for a breath or two here, where we've warmed up our hips a lot. But again, if your hips are still saying, well, I want more, give them more movement. But let's use this pumping to wake up our shins and our calves, our feet. Our first inversion, going in. Beautiful. Allowing stillness to come back here. Bending generously into your knees, coming up on your tippy toes. Can you lengthen your tail long behind you? Then engage your heels again. Feeling that length that you've created here. Biceps are by ears, heart pouring through. Nice adjustments. Still a micro bend to your knees, not locking out your joints. And we inhale together. And exhale, sigh, let it all go. Bending your knees generously here, looking toward the top of your mat. Can you travel there? You can take tippy toe steps. You can take one big step as I have, or maybe it's in your practice to jump there. Inhaling to lengthen, flat back. Exhaling, folding in. before rising all the way up. Come sweeping up to stand, bringing hands to heart center, and then allowing them to fall by your side. In your Tadasana, your mountain pose. 3 breaths here, feeling the connection to earth here. The strength in your legs and your feet. I'm just enjoying the stillness for a breath or two. Not wanting to get cold here though, we're not going to stay here long. Can you breathe your arms up? Bringing your hands to heart center, sit back in your chair. Holding in, let it go. Inhaling to lengthen, flat back. Planting your hands, stepping or hopping back, jumping back to your first chaturanga. So high or low plank, honoring your body, lowering all the way down, elbows are by your side. Breathing your head and chest up off the mat, just a baby cobra here to start. Tucking your toes, finding your way to downward dog. Always an option to go into table on the way there. Allowing a breath to pass through your mouth. If there's anything that's come up you need to let go of. Can you breathe your right leg up? 3-legged dog, bending in, curling in, stepping or helping your right foot to the top of the mat. Taking your left foot up on a 45, just a foot or so up on the mat. Can you rise up into your warrior one posture? Closed hip posture here, hips are forward. Left heel is flat on the mat. The toes are pointing out to number 11 on the clock. Letting hands come down, stepping right foot to meet left, and rinsing it out with your Chaturanga and Tadasana. Cobra. And downward facing dog. 3 breaths. This time breathing your left leg up long behind you, curling in, helping your left foot or stepping your left foot to the top of the mat this time. Right foot comes up on the angle now. Toes are pointing to number 1 on the clock dial. Breathing up, warrior one, second side. Allowing hands to come down, left foot meets right, you've got it, rinsing it out one more time. Cobra, downward facing dog. 3 breaths here. Bending your knees, traveling to the top of your mat. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, sit back in your chair. And standing up in your Tadasana. Back where we started. So your Namaskar B to warm up today. Sun Salutation B. Feeling all warmed up now. Can we inhale, breathing that all the way up. This time swan diving down. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, planting your hands, stepping left foot back. Letting left knee come down to the floor as you walk your hands up onto your right foot, or onto your right calf. If you have blocks handy, you can bring them by your sides. Always an option to use your blocks or a firm pillow to make extensions out of your hands. So toes can be tucked or toes can be flat on the mat here. And you can inch your right foot forward so you can see the toes of your right foot. As we inhale to prepare and exhale, bending into that right knee. Feeling that nice stretch in the left front of your thigh. And your hands can stay here on your thigh. And maybe you want to breathe your hands up and your gaze can follow. Always an option with these low crescent lunges to pad up your yoga mat if there's any issues with your knee. Allowing your hands come down, reaching for your blocks if you have them. Extending that right foot long in front of you, allowing that right knee to remain bent. Going into our half splits here. Can you inhale to lengthen? Exhale, folding in, pouring your heart over your right knee here. Not rounding out, leading with your heart. If you have the space or don't have yoga blocks, maybe you come up on tented fingers here. If you want to get a little deeper, you can ease your left knee back. Or if full splits are in your practice, you can go there. Dragging your right heel so the right foot flat on the mat once again. Popping left knee up. Can you allow your foot to drag long behind you before you find that your foot is lifting off the mat and finding your warrior three posture. So you can be here on your tented fingers or maybe your blocks, or again your friend here to give you some space. One long line. From the top of your head to the back. Left foot is flexed there. And if you want to challenge your balance, maybe hands come to heart center. Or maybe you can fly in Superman here. Still breathing. Your hands are flying, taking them back to heart center. Focusing on the weight in your right foot. Can you slowly bring yourself up to stand? If your foot touches down, that's okay. Bringing left knee in. Taking left hand to left knee. Right hand can be on your hip. Just gently opening your left knee to the side like a book. Hips are still facing forward. A little bit more balance challenge here. And if it's in your practice to stretch your left foot out and reach for your toes with your peace fingers, you can do that. One more breath. Bring your knee in like a book, closing up. Let left foot meet right and shaking your hips off. Nice job. Let's inhale, gathering all that up into your heart. Exhaling, coming back down. One more time, inhaling before folding in. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, right foot steps back this time, long behind you. Allowing that right knee to come down, walking your hands up your left thigh. So setting this good foundation to start. Hips are forward. Padding up your yoga mat on the right side if any issues with your knees. We're going to inhale to lengthen. Exhale, pouring in, feeling that stretch in the right front of your leg. Still able to see the toes and your left foot. Taking your hands up and your gaze can follow. Pinky fingers are turned in. Allowing your shoulders to settle down your spine, nice adjustments. Just thinking about that, hands contracting like there's a beach ball that you're holding on to here. And you settle a little softer into your knees. Nice. Allowing hands to come down, reaching for those blocks if you have it. Extending your left heel forward, or letting your pinky fingers come down, your tinted fingers. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhale, pouring your heart over your left knee this time. Left knee is still soft, not blocking it out. You can each that right knee back if you want to get a little further deeper into the stretch here. Using your breath to allow you to soften. Allow your heart to lead the way. Allowing the left heel to drag back until you can become flat on the mat here. Popping right knee up. You've got it. Dragging the right foot till it comes on the mat as you inch your fingers forward. Having your block handy if you like it for your warrior three posture. Finding your balance. Awareness, one side is different than the other, and that's okay. Finding your hand expression, whether that's from the block or heart center or flying. Sometimes focusing on one spot on the floor allows you to keep your balance a little better. Slowly, slowly, slowly allowing yourself to come up to a stand. That right foot touches down the way through, that's okay. Bringing hands to heart. Right knee is towards the chest here. Before taking right hand to right knee as we gently open that like a book. Maybe your left hand comes out to the side for some balance here. And once again, if it's in your practice to reach for your toes and stretch your right foot out, you do that. Honoring your body. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Beautiful. Letting right knee come forward. Steps to meet left. Shaking your legs off. Can we inhale and exhale, pour over your soft knees. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, stepping back to our last vinyasa. You may throw a vinyasa in there at the end, but that will be yogi's choice. Allowing yourself to come back in your child's pose for 10 breaths here. Grabbing a drink of water. A few breaths of stillness as we transition. Maybe feeling some space that you've created in your hips. Five more breaths. And when you feel ready, finding your way back to your downward facing dog. Let's take an inhale breath together. Exhale, sigh, letting it all go. Can you breathe your right leg long behind you, three-legged dog? Curling in, taking right elbow to right knee. Exhaling, going back. Inhaling, bringing right knee to nose, kissing your nose. You're kissing your nose, kissing your knee if you can. Exhaling, back behind you. One more time, right knee comes to right elbow, and allowing that right leg to come all the way down as we prepare for our pigeon posture. You may have guessed during our hip opening class that we would be going there. So if pigeon is not in your practice, you can flip over onto your back and go into figure 4 or thread the needle, because that's what it is. It's just the opposite of what we're doing here in our pigeon. So taking your right knee as close as you can to right elbow, left leg is long behind you. You can stay here, or if you have space, you can come down on your elbows or blocks or a pillow, and even putting a prop underneath that right hip if it's floating off the ground. Wherever you are, can you soften here for 10 breaths? And if something feels uncomfortable, you're going to come out of it in a higher expression of the posture. But also ask yourself, is it truly pain, or is it just that you struggle maybe in these postures and that you feel that you're coming out of it? So always come out of it if it's pain, but if it's just an edge that you're coming against, can I ask you, can you use your breath? See if you're holding on to any place. And can you soften even more? Five more breaths. Slowly allowing yourself to come up, letting right knee come back to left. And if you're on your back, doing some windshield wipers to reset. Those that are on their tippy toes, coming up into your down dog. So on your back, you're windshield wipering from side to side. Here we're pedaling our hips from side to side, feeling the difference in the posture. The posture is brought to your hips here. So if you're on your backs, you're going to thread the needle or figure 4 with your left foot over right knee. For us pigeon folks, we're going to breathe our left leg up long behind us. With our inhale, taking left knee to left elbow. Breathing back, three-legged dog. Coming in, curling in, nose touches your knee. Maybe you kiss your knee if you've got the space. And back to your three-legged dog. Last time, left knee to left elbow, allowing left leg to come down, setting yourself up for your pigeon. So helping your left leg to be long across the mat, inching your right knee back to find your spot, using any props, pillows, or blankets that you have if your left hip's floating off the mat. And staying here, or coming down to your elbows or your blocks, or maybe you have the space to come right down to your mat. And can you soften here? Let's take inhale breath together. Sigh, let it all go. Do you soften even more? Using whatever is there available to you to support your body here. Using your breath. Checking in. Are you holding anywhere? Can you soften? For 8 more breaths. Gently, 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 allowing yourself to come back up. If you're on your back, you're going back to your windshield wipers. For those that were in your pigeon, slowly letting your hips come back, your knees meeting, letting your hips sway from side to side. And you can find your way onto your back and start windshield wipering. Or if you wanted to rinse off with one final vinyasa, you can come up on your tippy toes and rinse it all out. Nice job, everybody. Coming back down to your knees and finding right to your back if you did that last vinyasa. Finding your block or your pillow if you have that handy. We're going to do one more supported posture before we finish our class. Get to our Shavasana. So allowing your feet to be flat on the floor, knees are bent. Taking your block or your pillow, just having a firm pillow or doubling it up. Breathing your hips up, allowing the block or the firm pillow to come underneath your hips. Maybe walking your feet in a little bit further. And if you don't have a block, you're going to allow your hips to come up into your bridge posture. Chin is tucked wherever you are. Allowing your hands to come by your sides. And with the block or the pillow, there should be no pain in your back. And if that's painful, just adjust the block or the pillow. No pain. Allowing softness to come into your hips here. Allowing your prop to support you. I often say that our hips hold our stories. And if we can find an opportunity to open things up here, create some softness, realign this energy center, things will a line off your mat as well. So if you're up on a prop and you want to take your legs and stretch them out for the last 4 breaths here, only if you have no back issues and that's not causing any issues with your back. Allowing yourself to surrender here. Maybe imagining anything that you may be holding on to. Just melting away into your prop. Checking in. Are you holding any place? Your legs are stretched out, taking your feet back to center. Lifting your hips, coming off your prop. Letting hips come down, bringing head and shoulders up. Just like we started, giving yourself a little hug. Rocking from side to side here to reset your spine. Letting head and shoulders come back down. Yogi's choice for last posture as we transitioned into our Shavasana. So maybe you want to go to a happy baby. Maybe you want to go back to reclined cobblers where we started class. Or maybe you want to go into a supine twist. Yogi's choice for the last posture, offering your body the perfect posture to finish your class. For those who choose a twist, I will prompt you when you're able to move to second side. Honoring your body here. What does your body need for these final few breaths? Supine twisters, let your knees come up on your next inhale, letting them flop over to the second side, opposite side. You're twisted, coming back to center. Everybody bringing head and shoulders back up one more time before allowing yourself to come back down, finding your Shavasana, tucking your shoulders in or pointing to cactus arms. Knowing that the next few minutes is your time. And I will be here to guide you back when the time is right. Enjoy. Remember that you are water. Cry, cleanse, flow. Remember that you are fire. Burn, tame, ignite. Remember that you are air. Be still, focus, decide. Remember that you are earth, ground, build, give. Slowly bringing your awareness back to the room that you're practicing in. Really allowing your breath to lengthen here. Coming back to your body. Inviting small movements now to slowly begin to transition back. Maybe allowing the light to come back into your eyes. And starting long, letting your hands come up, toes splaying out before curling up in a ball one last time before finding yourself in fetal position, one side or the other, whichever is calling you. Maybe staying in fetal position just for a breath, soaking in your practice before gently pushing yourself up to a seat. Bringing hands to heart center, chin is humble. Taking a few moments to honor yourself for rolling out your mat today, doing this practice. Observing the changes that your practice has brought to your body, your heart, and your mind. It has been my honor to lead you in your practice today. May you feel more spacious in your hips. May you go with the flow today. Namaste. Have beautiful days, guys. Looks like a sunny day here. Well, I guess it's a little cloudy. It's just burning off. So thank you for joining, and I will see you next time. Namaste.